Hello and welcome everyone to the week ahead commodity report, where we will be looking at the markets for the week ahead for the 7th to the 11th of May 2018. So first of all, today we'll have a look at gold, we'll be having a look at silver. Last week we had the FOMC statement and also non-farm payroll data, which have both proven to be very lucrative trading opportunities over the last week. And I'll move over to the charts with you very shortly. The major movers here off the back of the non-farm payrolls, essentially some of the beneficiaries of that later on in the session have certainly been the commodity currencies. So we've seen some strength here into the close on the Australian dollar, the New Zealand dollar. Gold was up as well, 0.26% on the day. Silver up 0.46% on the day, so essentially around 0.5%. And palladium up just over 0.5%, and platinum up 0.72% on the day on Friday. And of course, oil here as well was a star, breaking out to 3-year highs and up 2% on the day into the close on Friday. So we'll take a look at that on the charts as we transition over to the technicals. Before we do that, we'll have a quick rundown of some of the major news items which are scheduled as we go into next week. Now, Monday is a bank holiday for the UK, but it's not a bank holiday for the rest of the world. So it should really be business as usual as we go into the US session in the afternoon. Although note that we haven't got a lot of high impact news items which are scheduled on Monday. As we transition into Tuesday, for those of you who trade the commodity currencies like the Australian dollar, just note that we've got retail trade data, retail sales, and then midweek we have house starts data for the CAD. We also have the cash rate for the New Zealand dollar. On Thursday, we have the Bank of England bank rate. So if you trade the FTSE 100 or if you trade sterling, that will certainly get impacted on Thursday at 12 o'clock London time. And then we also have CPI data and initial jobless claim in the afternoon. And then on Friday, we have the employment change and unemployment rate for the CAD. So we could certainly see some volatility a little bit later on in the week next week, which could affect some of the commodity currencies and also some of the major crosses against the US dollar. So talking about the US dollar, let's actually move over to the US dollar index and the price structure which we've formed into the close here on Friday. And then if you look at where the US dollar is poised at the moment, it looks like a potential bull trap in the sense that we've broken out here from the 3.5-month highs. But later on in the session, we've seen a sell-off here. And for those of you who might trade some of the crosses on the US dollar, this is more evident, for example, on the US dollar Japanese yen at the moment, which is starting to roll over. We've seen it come into overbought condition, but we've essentially seen a sell signal develop in that market as well into the close on Friday. The weakness on the US dollar index into the close has seen some of the correlations also develop sell signals, and with that we've in fact got buy signals now on gold, on silver and platinum going into next week too. So first of all, if we focus on gold, gold is essentially right back where we started at the beginning of 2018. So gold is pretty much flat on the year now. Now gold's average return over the last 15 years has been approximately 10%. Okay, so 10% per year has been the average growth rate of gold if you take the average over the last 15 years. So if you look at where we are poised at the moment with gold back at neutral for the year, it does have some strong upside potential given where we are within the lower end of some of the major support zones at the moment. So we're just coming off the lower end of the Keltner channels at the moment, and we've also just found support over the last week at 1,300 US dollars per ounce. We've got a buy signal into the close on Friday, and I'm looking certainly at the potential here for a breakout as we go into next week, and a bit of a V-shaped reversal recovery in fact as well for gold if we can build up some momentum to the upside. I would also put on your radar not only gold priced in US dollars but gold priced in a number of other currencies. I'll show you gold priced in euros, but this is evident on gold priced in the Australian dollar and gold priced also amongst a lot of other currency crosses as well, where gold's overall strength is doing very well over the course of 2018, but of course priced against the dollar, which has broken out to 3.5-month highs of late. It is not going to be as strong as, for example, gold priced against the euro, which seems to be on track right now for breaking out to certainly the 2-week highs here. And if we see more follow through next week on gold priced in euros, it would actually be breaking out towards the 2018 swing highs back from January here as well. So gold price in other currencies is looking strong right now, as is also silver price in euros as well. So silver euro across here into the close on Friday has also generated a buy signal and would suggest that we should see more follow through on the metals going into next week. The major range that gold is really sitting in right now is taking it back down to 1300, and we've really tested the range of 1300 up to approximately $1,310 now, several occasions over 2018. So back in February, also March, and of course more recently over the last week towards the end of April and beginning of May. So I do see the potential for a rotation back towards the upper end of this channel, taking the price potentially back towards 1,350 range here if we continue to get more momentum over the month of May. Moving over to silver as well, over the last week, this was just prior to Wednesday's FOMC statement, came back and retested $16 per ounce here. It has since found support at that zone, especially on Wednesday's FOMC statement. That's where we saw a turnaround in price. And then on Friday's non-farm payroll is where we've closed here, near enough at the daily highs. We've also got the potential for a reversal and more follow through as we go into next week, particularly if we see the US dollar start to build up momentum to the downside. So I am looking at the potential for more follow through on silver as we go into next week too. I would definitely have that on your radar. We've talked about the gold to silver ratio before, where when it gets to 80 to 1, so if it takes 80 ounces of silver to buy 1 ounce of gold, typically this can be a reversal point for the metals, especially if they are oversold. And that's what we saw last week. The gold to silver ratio got to over 80 to 1. Silver then tested $16 per ounce. Since then, it's reversed, and I'm looking for more follow through on silver this month. Platinum, we've actually got a buy signal on now as well going into the close on Friday. We've closed at $911. Platinum again has found support at the 900 zone, which it has done so several times over the last 2 years here. So platinum for us is back in accumulation zone. We're seeing good support come in again at the 900 level. We could do with just a little bit more confirmation at the beginning of next week. So essentially if we break above Friday's highs here and we start to build more momentum, taking out the previous week's highs as well, that would really bode well. So if we take out, for example, on platinum $920, that is where we could start to pick up more momentum to the upside and then start to see the price structure come all the way back up towards $935 to $950. So right now, going into next week, commodities are looking strong, especially if the US dollar does continue to rotate lower. And of course, have a look at where we're poised with oil. Oil has now broken out to 3-year highs. This is the strongest close oil has actually had now in 2018. And in fact, we are poised here for potentially oil to break back above $70 on WTI crude oil as we go into next week. We've actually got a buy signal now on oil into the close on Friday. We still need to see more confirmation of that because it is possible that it may stall at this level of resistance and really await for a bit more data. I'll show you exactly what I mean with respect to oil at the moment. So essentially, as we go into next week, some of the major news that we're really waiting for right now is going to be a decision here from Washington on a possible new US sanctions against Iran. So that's what a lot of the markets are waiting for with respect to oil right now. And if we get any additional upside, it would likely be as a result of new sanctions on Iran. But as it stands right now, oil, of course, is broken out to the highest levels since November of 2014. So oil will be very much a market that you want to keep an eye on going into next week as well. In terms of the next major levels here for oil, well, if it does continue to follow through to the upside, the next major zones here we will be looking at sit approximately at $72. Then, of course, above that, we would be looking for a potential rotation all the way back up towards $75 here if we were to continue to get follow through. So for us at the Gold and Silver Club, oil will definitely be a market to watch next week, but also, of course, gold. Keep an eye on gold at these levels. We've come out of quite an oversold condition of gold of late. It's recently bounced off $1,300, and if gold picks up momentum to the upside next week, there could be a great swing trade opportunity. Now, if you would like to find out more about the training programs that we provide at the Gold and Silver Club and also get access to our live news feeds, which includes real-time data, which is incredibly useful for FOMC statements, for non-farm payrolls, for oil inventories data, GDP data, any major news item that you're looking to trade in the market, markets. If you've got real-time data, it will give you a huge edge. And of course, all of the fundamental news stories which develop during the course of the week, these will all help you with your trading. If you'd like to find out more, all you need to do is go to www.jointhelivetradingroom.com. So again, to find out more about the programs available at the Gold and Silver Club and for access to our real-time news feeds, just go to www.jointhelivetradingroom.com.